Thank you, boss.
Sorry.
It's fine. Does that make any sense? And it's not a conscious thing. It's not like it's evil or intentionally. I mean, that's all codependency is. They throw that word around so much, I don't even like it no more because it doesn't mean nothing, really. It's so trite and overused. But codependency means basically we're both dependent. This happened in early AAs where the guys would come in and get sober and then go back home, and he was different. And they noticed that the family system, the wife, would sabotage it and enable to go back to that same old way of living. Because if you change, if you do what she says you're wanting, she's going to be uncomfortable.
She's going to have to change.
Because the dance, y'all won't do the same dance no more.
See, that's kind of the way this last 6 months was, that 175 days sober on my own. I guess say it was kind of a white knuckle thing, but we done signed the divorce papers, and she said you screw up this one more time, if you going off for further treatment or we get a divorce. And to me, she really wasn't no better than those 6 months. Toward me, she's always accusing me of this, that, and the other, and it's like she was always trying to start something with me. And I was doing everything I could to satisfy her.
Well, I mean, she has a right to be hurt, and it'd take her a minute to get over all that stuff. But somewhere, I don't know her, probably never meet her. But my guess is that there is a similar pattern of abandonment and getting betrayed in her childhood in some fashion, emotionally or otherwise. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the trouble you brought on her would give her is a calling. It's trouble, and it is a calling for her, a chance for her. It's a visitation for her to try to work out this stuff. But she's trying to work it out by fixing you. But she can't, because those are things that were programmed in her long before y'all ever met. Does this make any sense? But this is not for you to go and tell her, Mr. Teal said this, because then you're back in the fiction.
Mine told me when we got together, just be you. Just want you to be, do whatever you want to do, just be you and be real. I was me and I was real, and she didn't like that. At all.
So either she was lying or she didn't really understand what she was talking about.
Well, I've known her all her life.
Or just the real you.
She's known me all my life. She knew how I was.
But you don't know you all your life, so how can she know you?
I mean,
Do you understand?
yeah.
It's a fiction.
Right.
It's a contract based on nothing.
Yeah.
Based on what I'm projecting onto you that I need.
You had that much of a good mask on, Bill.
My guess is she struggles with being real.
Yeah.
And put that on you.
Stay at home. Stay at home, not run around, sleep in the door quarters and all of this and all that. And
Your mama's gonna hear this.
Should have phone call again.
Having the spirit just changed.
went my therapy. Anyway, she wanted me to stay at home and do things with her. Be a good boy, if you will. So when I got out of prison, I got out for 3 years. I stayed at home and she left. Oh, I can't stand this. I can't take this anymore. Right here in my ass all the time. So sounded like she didn't even want me one way or another, huh?
She wanted what you represented to her.
Yeah.
It met some need. That don't make her evil. But again, my guess is she didn't really know who she was. You didn't really know who you were. I mean, and from just interacting with you a little bit, kind of the thing that motivated you was getting over on the man. You know, doing my thing.
Well,
Screw them. You know, and then you had all these justifications for this, that, and the other, and I mean, that's fine. But like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was talking to you, my issue's not with the damn legal system, or whether you're a good boy or a bad boy, or it's, I would like to see you get free. Because that would be fun. You know, not because I'm smart. It's just cool to watch folks blossom. You know, because if the dope was meeting your need, if the dope was what you wanted, then you'd been satisfied. I mean, you can, how many whores are there? You can have all of them and you'll still be empty. Right?
right.
How much dope can you smoke? You're still at the end of it empty.
I wouldn't smoke it.
Or whatever, you're sticking up your ass, dinking, or whatever you called it. It doesn't matter. But see, just like that, you're picking nits when I'm talking to you. Who gives a fuck if you're smoking or not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Doing
saying?
it.
You know? But that, paying attention to that impulse where you're picking some damn nit as a way to keep me away or keep you from opening up. Don't nod your head.
I just threw that in there. I understand.
Why? Why? It was irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to let you, wait a minute. Make sure you know what you want to say before you say it. Let me finish with him. Because if you go back and you listen to yourself on these videos, you'll hear you're running your damn pie hole
Yeah.
for no damn reason. It doesn't contribute anything. It gets us off topic, and you get the attention.
Well, I was trying to get you off topic there.
Really?
No, not really.
Do you not? You really don't know.
I don't.
So maybe. That's all I'm saying. Find out why. Why? Because it's doing something for you. But it's also hurting you because it keeps you in the fiction. It keeps you not present and powerful and interesting and, you know, what?
I was just going to say that people who do meth consider smoking it as wasting it, and he didn't want to be known as one of those people.
And see, he just did the same thing. You understand?
Yeah.
That's irrelevant. He's wanting attention.
No, I
You are.
Help.
They just tell me I didn't sound that stupid.
He wanted to be clever and funny.
No, I was trying to help.
It didn't.
No,
It's pride. I was trying to say, hey, I don't waste it.
Well, that didn't work.
I thought
Try something else.
I thought it might change your
You just taking up oxygen in the room.
Because you said you didn't smoke it?
shooters are totally different from smoking. But it's all
I'd like to hit it from behind.
It is if you're in the fictional I'm a damn dopehead world, it might be different, and I'm better than them.
yeah.
I only give blowjobs when I stand on one leg. That makes me better than the ones that get on their knees. You're still giving a fucking blowjob.
Right.
Do what?
I've been thinking about what we talked about, and I was looking back at my life, and kind of how I was brought up was I was Roman Catholic, and I kind of observed people in this world that I didn't understand, and I thought, it became this doing thing because I would see how they prayed, and I would see how reverent they were, and then I thought, maybe I can do this or do that and take it to God and be like, look at what I've done, and now since I've been stepping back and looking at things that you've talked to me about, our real addiction being our ego and our senses and our past experiences, it's like this groove now that he's got me to where I can, when those things come, it's like I accept them because the feeling's going to come. I'm not going to be able to stop it regardless of what I do. But
True.
I accept. Now I find myself accepting that feeling and being like, okay, well here we go, and I've got peace. from doing that now.
It's a trip, ain't it?
It's crazy.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
Because you described your religious thing as almost like Santa Claus. If I'm a good boy and I make my bed and I get a Red Ryder baby gun. You know?
My thing was to tell everybody I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
While I'm being a little shithead. You know, I'm being a good boy, I'm being a good boy.
See?
Hell no.
Mrs. Cleaver, like Eddie Haskell on Leave It to Beaver. Y'all don't know that show. Some of y'all know. Eddie, hello, Mrs. Cleaver. Your hair looks nice today. And he had Beaver off in the back shooting up, you know. You know. And the part of the trick, again, I said this last week, I don't have the answer for you. Nobody does. It's the best I can do. I've been 3 months and a year and 3 months with your ass trying to get you to that place. Not trying to get you, but to just say, there it is. That's about all I can do for you. Or anybody. You know, we can go and talk to folks and interact and read books and that can be helpful. But if we're not careful, we'll get trapped in the idea and in that place that reading books is the journey.
Right.
Or that studying is my religion. That's God. It's not.
Right.
And we've been programmed to do and to function and impulsively. And that's what you're...
Substituting God for different things. It's like you
For the fiction.
It's like you think you refine God in this, but then you don't find Him there. So I'm going to go refine Him here. And when He's trying to, telling me just shut up, be still, and then that you find Him.
Because one of the things I think you're learning is that your feelings will trick you.
Absolutely.
Even the good ones.
Absolutely.
They're probably the worst ones.
Yeah.
You know?
That's correct.
Because our bodies and minds and soul, whatever, was programmed to take this data we receive from the chemistry in our body and say, this is good, this is bad, this is... And then we read some profound book and we have a little tingle in our body. We go, oh, that's God. You know? No, that's your body, your synapse, a new synapse forming and a billionth of a volt crosses and you go boom, and you go tingle. And that's a cool thing, it's a good thing. It's kind of how God made us, where we're doing something that was helpful. We get a little hit of cocaine or whatever that,
Get out of boy.
you know. In our biology will give us signals, but when we're doing right or wrong. But many of us, our shit's all crossed up. You know, the oil light comes on and we go, fuck you.
Yeah.
And danger signal comes up and we get all excited and happy. Let's go run from the police. That'll be some fun, retard. In our chemistry, we get addicted to the wrong stuff. What?
There's a book I'm reading called Good or God, John Bevere.
Yeah.
Kind of separates, and he kind of goes to the basis of how Eve, when she saw the tree, that it was good. You know, that's how the devil kind of enticed her away from God's command to say, well, you know, why can't you? And then, you know, she was drawn to the good side and not the God side. So there's a separate. Everything that's good is not always of God, and that's, you know. So being a person of feeling like I am, I have to have the wisdom and discernment to separate what's really going on from true reality and fiction. And I've been faced with that, and you know,
Because you're a lot more solid than you've ever been.
absolutely.
Just interacting with you.
Yes.
The neediness is not there. You know. It's different. it's when you're doing this, people are going to think you're weird.
I think maybe sometimes people may think I'm withdrawn but the opposite of me is always trying to, people please or impress. And now that God's been dealing with me like this, I'm okay just being me, like, and thinking about what comes on me sometimes. And that it's okay to have feelings.
It's very okay.
It's okay to have emotions. But I it's like I find myself, like I said, welcoming it, and it's one of the tops of my head off. I mean,
Is we were programmed to do. In this path that I'm talking about, the work is not doing a damn thing. That's the hardest thing sometimes. And just figuring out what that sentence means is the first step. You know what I'm talking about now. It's not having an impulse or a circumstance happen that we unconsciously jump back into our old patterns without even knowing that we are. And we have the sense that we're alive when we're outside our body, it feels like. Y'all understand what I'm saying? There's some anxiety comes up. It feels like you're all out here and you do this, you shut up, you do. And everybody's doing that back. And it's just a cluster. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Breathe is the first thing. We went over this several weeks ago, but you need enough oxygen in your blood. That's why them cigarettes feel so good. It ain't because of the nicotine. It's because it's about the only time some of y'all breathe deep. Nicotine gets you jacked up. It don't calm you down. It's this. And you can do that without a cigarette. But you've been programmed that it's the cigarette that makes you feel better. It ain't. I don't care if you smoke. Just know what the hell you're doing. Because it's a radically change your life if every 5 minutes you would take 25 seconds and go, what's going on with me? What am I feeling? What am I get back in here and then go back and do whatever. I mean, every time the announcement thing comes on, that can be a signal. Like in monasteries and stuff, they'll ring bells as a way of helping them be mindful, and then they'll stop.
I get anxiety when the intercom comes on. Is that weird?
No. Then breathe.
It's like,
And breathe. When the intercom comes on.
it's like,
Because I don't know. You have to go find out what that's about. It may be.
I like thinking that I'm a bad boy and I'm not being.
Yeah, paranoid ass.
Like for real.
The authority speaks. God is speaking.
What's the name they say?
Oh shit, not me this time.
Reminds me of
It's not me
prison.
this time.
Reminds me of prison.
Yeah.
The intercom.
Yeah. And so there's whatever those associations are for you. Let that be a trigger to be mindful. Go, oh. 20, 30 seconds. Good. Don't hyperventilate. Just breathe. Settle back down inside yourself. You don't have to figure it out. It'll show itself to you.
I mean, it already has. I mean, I already know what it is.
Okay.
It's not like I've got to try to figure it out, because then I'll get in that relationship.
Because I think we were talking last week, you already know, everybody in here already knows everything you need to know. It's not about being taught, it's about relaxing and remembering. Let it show itself to you. Does that make any sense to y'all?
Yep.
You know? And still play and do your stuff, and that's all fine. But realize when you're doing it and why. It's when you start living in both worlds. Stuff will happen, bad and good, and the weather will be sunshine and rain, and it'll still be as it is, but your experience of that is very different. You know?
I like to let the rough end drag. Yeah.
And it's not religion, it's getting to know God.
With Scripture, it kind of starts making a lot more sense. Especially I've been reading about Abraham, and that was before the law. He hadn't performed any kind of work. There was no ritual. There was no sacrifice. God had just given him a promise, and he just believed. He just believed God, and that, that's the righteousness by faith. So it's even right now what I'm going through is there's still promises in place, but I can only believe those promises to where I get to a place of peace with Him, to where it's like, okay, I believe you. I mean, regardless of what the feelings in my body are going through right now, which could be like a tornado at times, it's like, hey, I believe you.
And my guess is there are times when you step even past that and there are no words for it. That's why nobody can teach you that, because there ain't no words for it. You got to go up there and see what's up. But if you don't want to, don't worry about it. I'll still pick at you and poke at you and laugh at you. Don't hurt my feelings. And I talked about religious fiction in the beginning. And we typically think of religion as Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, or Hare Krishna, Hare Kari, or whatever. But scientism is a religion. Statism is, do y'all know what I mean by statism? Belief in authority of the state. That's a religion.
That is a religion.
Instead of the Baptists and the Catholics, you got the Republicans and the Democrats. But that's part of the whole system, is a dialectical thing where you get the illusion of choice when in fact you're choosing the same thing, whatever you choose. So right now they got this comical what's the Wrestling Federation? WWF? E, whatever it is. Hulk Hogan, boy, he hates Randy Savage. Shit.
They're buddies.
Or whatever. And then they got this comedy going on with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And then Bernie Sanders is over here with his little stuff. And then the libertarian guy.
He ain't got a chance.
It really don't matter who.
Whoever's in office, so they want it.
I mean, I'd prefer the libertarian guy.
They being the authority,
The bankers.
the group, or the people.
Satan? Whatever.
The lesser of the two evils.
But that's a religion.
Yeah.
And what I was going for is that people get all dressed up in the Republican or Democrat suit and they fight and argue and they stomp up and down. And the answer is what you're discovering, Stepping out of the fiction, out of that religion, into what's real. Because when you're in that place, you don't need drugs or whores. Do you? Whether you're going to beat them up or not, What?
You're talking about the politics, it was kind of like the Lord before the Pharisees, how He exposed them and called them whores. God called religious people whores. It's kind of like know, how you said that our systems and cultures we live in addict us to what they throw at us. It's always something new. It's always some new light or new slogan or new song or.
But it's the same thing every time. They dress it up different. Change. Okay, we got change, didn't we? Didn't quite define it, but all of them said, we need to change, we need to change. And that wasn't just Obama, all of them. We need to change, we need to change. And then people go, yeah, we need to change. Retards. But there's something in their soul that says this ain't how it ought to be. Just like in all of us. And so, yes, we need change. But then they're given two choices, whether it's blue Pepsi or red Coke. That's the same as Republican Democrat. It's the same crap. You think you're getting something different.
I don't like that.
Well, I'm a Ford man. You Chevy people suck. I mean, it's so friggin' retarded.
I do like
I'm
Coke.
glad you feel that way, Jill. I'm a Ford
I like
man,
Mountain
too.
Dew.
I mean, who gives a shit? But people have had arguments over this mess. I'm a Ford, Chevy, Mitsubishi man. That's who I am.
Well,
Who gives a shit?
Trying to save some money,
you're on Ford, you better be a master mechanic.
I got a Nissan with 300,000 miles on it.
See what I'm saying?
See? But you know what I'm saying? I mean, we get, that's a fiction, that's a trap, that's stupid.
I know a girl.
The system's a whole trap.
And I ain't mad at the folks running the system. They just trying to get theirs, you know? And doing a damn good job of it.
Running a Ponzi scheme.
It ain't on them to change. They're not going to go, oh, we're sorry. We didn't mean to kill all them 100,000 Africans last year by fucking with their food. Sorry about that. Y'all be worried about the homos that got shot. If that was even real, I doubt it was real. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, I'm sad if somebody got shot or whatever, and I don't care if they're gay or not. It's none of my business. But there was this big uproar a week or two. Y'all heard about the Florida in the gay club? Mass shooting, hundreds of people shot. And that went on, and all this big uproar, and you had all the flags, the gay flags on Facebook and stuff. And if you don't support gays, and I don't care who you are, do what you want to do. Okay? But for the last 40 decades, we've been sitting here while governments had let little children starve, hundreds of thousands of them all over the world. We don't say shit about that. So I don't think people really care that much. They just get triggered into these little, you know, and I'm mad at, we're about due for another black riot somewhere.
Yeah.
We ain't had one in 6 months or so. So that'll be coming up here soon.
Come on.
Or they'll, you know.
Unarmed.
And if you don't think that crap staged, my God.
Attention getter.
And then some crazy white boy going.
Yeah, it'll be some skinhead boy.
Church, and then
And then they'll run around again, they're distracted and
Sandy Hook.
False propaganda.
you know.
You know, it's all part of this
And even if
crowd control.
all that stuff's real, and I don't think it is, but even if it is, when we give attention to it, we give it energy. When we listen to the radio or the TV for our programming every morning, and we go out, because I ain't listened to the news in a year, but I walk down the street, I hear it, because people are repeating what they heard, and whether they watch Fox or CNN, that's the side they're going to take. And it's the same old crap, just programmed into society in the fiction.
Right. I don't watch the news. Bullshit.
What? You about to bust? What?
On a huge, large scale
deal, not going into it too much, I know what you're talking about, you know, Freemasonry and the way of the world with, as far as our presidents are concerned. And as far as news and radio stations and even artists that perform on the radio stations are all handpicked to perform and lay out whatever they want to have.
And we're just doing the boot scoop boogie.
Yeah. Do it, brother.
We get programmed to do that. We get programmed to go spend $100 on $6 worth of beer and chase women and do dances.
Yeah.
And you got 4 million people doing the same ritual
Yeah.
at the fertility cult.
It's time. Living by that clock.
Because the whole world it runs on our energy. The system. It's not money. Money's just what they. Somebody asked me about rich folks and money. I said, rich people don't need money. Money's for poor people, for the slaves. Rich people make the money.
That is the golden rule. The man with the golden rule. Yeah.
Now you don't even have to have gold. He just writes crap on the computer. But even chasing all them rabbit holes and stuff, it can be a waste of time. When you figure it out it's a lie, learn to breathe. Where we have to be in this world, but we don't have to be of it. We can play Monopoly with them sometimes to get a house or a car, but it's no different than playing Monopoly. People have had fist fights over friggin' who's going to be the dog or who's going to be the top hat. As though it's real. It's the same thing in the society. It's Monopoly. And so if you need to go buy some gas, go get some of that fake money and get you some gas.
Yeah.
It's you know. I mean, even Jesus got a gold coin out of a fish mouth to pay his taxes. He's like, okay, here. You know.
Life's a game, money's a toy, and the world's built on bullshit.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
Peace out.
Carolyn, listen, whoever she is.